Ignition coil confusion. Which coil and which resistor do I use for my classic Mercedes? So I get a lot of questions about ignition products, and one of the ones that I think has led to a lot of confusion is the topic of which ignition coil and which ignition resistor combination to use. So an ignition resistor is a small porcelain piece of a small porcelain part, and it's got a resistance value stamped on it, and it's got one wire going in that's screwed on and one wire going out. And these all have a different number stamp on them. And so I wanted to talk about the different coils and the different resistor combinations that one should be using. So let's start with the earliest Mercedes ignition coil that is continuously in service, the Bosch Black coil. So if you have one of these things are amazing. They never go bad. They never wear out. This thing is basically like the anchor of a ship. And as you can see, it says, you can identify it because it says imported d'Allemagne, imported from Germany. On the top of the coil, it has sort of a reddish brown cap. And then on the bottom, there's a Bosch part number. Now these guys should always be used with the gold banded 0.9 ohm coil. If you have a 300 SL or a 300 Adenauer, 0.9 ohm resistor. If you have a 300 SL or a 300 Adenauer, these resistors live in a little silver case and they have a spring inside. They almost never go bad, and their value almost always is around 0.9 ohm. So if you have one of these, keep it. Now, very often these get replaced with a coil that looks like this, the Bosch high energy silver coil. This is not for transistorized ignition. It says high energy ignition coil on this red label here, and it's supposed to be used at the bottom with a 1.8 ohm series resistance. Now, the 1.8 series resistor has a red band, and it's basically designed to reduce the voltage to a safe level so that you don't blow up your points or condenser with this high output coil. I found that the high output coil doesn't seem to give a huge amount of benefit, but you know, this is basically what you get today. They do make a standard non-high output coil, but you know, I personally have not had any success with it. I really prefer to retain these, but if you have to put something on, this is good enough. Now, we're going to talk about the blue coil. This is the transistorized ignition coil. So if you have a 70 to 75 model year car with TI system, transistorized ignition, this coil should not be used in place of this or this. Now the replacement one of these is also silver, but it'll say for transistorized ignition on the label instead of not saying anything at all. Now these coils require 0.6 ohms of resistance immediately going into terminal 15. So you're going to have a silver banded 0.6 ohm resistor, but in addition, the control unit for transistorized ignition should have a 0.4 ohm blue banded resistor coming in right before it. So you have a total resistance of the system of 1, but you need to have the 0.6 ohm going into this and the 0.4 ohm for the whole system. And again, that holds true if you have the modern replacement as well. Now there's another black coil you guys should be aware of that was used on like the 380 SL and 500 SEL and cars that had a fully transistorized Hall effect sensor ignition system from 76 and later. That coil did not take an external resistor at all. These were basically used up to 1982 when they quit using external resistors. So anyway, if you have any questions about which coil is right for your car and which Mercedes part number to use, just drop us a line. I'll do my best to help you. And again, I made this video in response to questions from a Patreon subscriber from a conversation a couple days ago. I thought it might be helpful, and I think it's a good technical topic. So anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please like it, share it, and subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate the subscribership. We're almost at 10,000, which is great for a channel that has basically starting out as an underdog, you know, and I still kind of see myself as an underdog because I'm providing free technical information for people who love working on their classic Mercedes. There's no catch. I'm not trying to sell anything. You know, you still get advice even if you don't support us on Patreon. You know, do whatever you want. But in the meantime, just share and subscribe and like and leave your comment below. And most of all, enjoy working on your Mercedes-Benz because that's, you know, I get a lot of fulfillment out of it, and I hope you guys do too.